Traders! Stop playing with all the new toys you got for the holidays and pay close attention. Bitcoin is quiet again, but the charts continue to tell a bullish story. Price is generally showing stability, momentum is brewing, and beneath the surface, strength continues to proliferate. We've got a potential setup similar to the gold breakout of 2018, compression on the daily chart, and liquidity clearly sitting above price. But before we get into the charts, you need to see what's happening on the macro and infrastructure side because it lines up perfectly with what price is doing right now. Let's go! Let's start with infrastructure because that's where real cycles are built. Aerodrome just released its Flight Log 2025, confirming that Aero is coming to Ethereum. That's a big deal. Let's take a listen.
Good afternoon. The Velodrome and Aerodrome foundations were established to serve as neutral stewards to these decentralized protocols. Under this stewardship, Aerodrome and Velodrome have grown to become two of the most successful exchanges in all of DeFi. Both were built on the Metadex 02 operating system.
All right. No, this is great. This is great news, okay? This is a big deal. The vision here is clear. Unified liquidity, cross-network connectivity. Applications can scale horizontally and vertically. This isn't a short-term narrative. This is Ethereum positioning itself as the settlement infrastructure. Wow! Now, zoom out even further. There are growing reports that NASDAQ is going big on blockchain in 2026. The real question isn't if this happens, it's who they partner with. That tells you where we are in the cycle. Wall Street isn't asking whether blockchain matters anymore. They're asking how to integrate with it. And then there's this one. This one matters a lot for sentiment. JPM CEO Jamie Dimon just admitted he was wrong about Bitcoin and crypto. He said, it's real. It'll be used by all of us. Let's take a listen, shall we? Oh, wait a minute. Isn't that Larry Fink? You guys love Larry Fink. Let me know in the comments how much you love this guy. Who invited him to this one anyway? Let's listen.
Skeptical of crypto at one point. He was still skeptical.
I've gotten away with no damage so far. Crypto is real. If you mean blockchain, stable coins, you have a JP Morgan deposit coin, you can move stuff, smart contracts are real, all that stuff is real. It will be used by all of us to facilitate,
Interesting, right? Very interesting. By the way, never listen to what they say. Always observe what they do. Keep in mind, this is not coming from some fake guru. This is coming from the head of the largest US bank. So while price is quiet, Ethereum infrastructure continues to expand. TradFi is preparing blockchain integration, and legacy skepticism is turning into acceptance. That is not weakness in the markets, people. That's early positioning ahead of the next phase. Now, let's see how all of this lines up with the charts, shall we? Let's start with the comparison between gold and Bitcoin. Back in 2018, gold had a massive bullish breakout thanks to a material catalyst. But Bitcoin is in a very similar position today. Both asset classes have things in common, like the perceived store of value. While history repeats itself in the markets, it doesn't repeat itself in exactly the same way. Bitcoin is poised to break out similar to gold in the coming months, but requires a substantial fundamental catalyst, which is often a surprise. The smaller time frames are showing a greater probability for such a breakout. All it needs is a fundamental spark. We will be on the lookout for this, especially over the first and second quarter. A technical confirmation would be a decisive close above 95K, so keep an eye out for that. Now, let's zoom out to the weekly chart. As you can see here, Bitcoin is sitting right on top of its long-term trend line, and this is the third touch if you look very carefully. This is very important. Third touches on macro trend lines are key because this is where trends either reset strongly or fail decisively. That makes this a high probability decision zone, not a random area on the chart. The moving average on this time frame is the 100 exponential moving average. That is an important level for this time frame. It carries a lot of weight. Also, there's a bullish order block right under price right as we speak. So, in the coming weeks, you want to watch for these two scenarios. The first one is the attempted pullback, failed low, followed by a bullish reversal, or we may see the breakout to the bullish side first, followed by a pullback. You have to watch for the confirmations within these two scenarios. On the daily, Bitcoin is consolidating, as you can see here. There is no impulsive selling, no break of structure. And above current price, there is buy-side liquidity just sitting there waiting to be cleared. Markets are drawn to liquidity, and as long as price holds this range, this liquidity becomes the magnet. On the 4-hour, price is moving cleanly between two defined zones. This is controlled price action. No bearish overreaction, no acceleration lower, just balance, which usually comes before expansion. It's important to understand, in this type of environment, volume plays an important role. We are still in a holiday environment. So what that means is support levels and resistance levels like this buy-side liquidity are more likely to hold and less likely to break. So what that means is you don't want to get caught in these price spikes that come out of nowhere until volume comes back. And it's going to take some time for that. So understand that your support levels and your resistance levels are going to carry more weight. And when price is gyrating around the midpoint, that's where signals are more likely to be random. Please keep that in mind until volume returns to this environment. On the 2-hour, Bitcoin continues to respect its trend line. Below price, structural integrity is also being maintained. Above price, we have buy-side liquidity and a supply zone further up. That gives us a very clear roadmap. Compression, liquidity grab, reaction at supply. This is technical, repetitive behavior, people. Now, let's look at Ethereum. On the daily time frame, Ethereum is still respecting its trend line. No structural compromise whatsoever. And just like Bitcoin, there's buy-side liquidity sitting above price. That keeps Ethereum biased toward continuation as long as structure holds. On the weekly, Ethereum is forming a clear chart pattern. Check this out. At the same time, there's strong weekly support below. That creates a very clean setup. Risk is defined clearly, structure is intact, and breakouts matter when they come. Ethereum is coiling, not failing. Check to see the illustration on here because this is the more likely scenario in the coming weeks. So when you put everything together, Bitcoin, weekly bullish reversal, still in effect, monthly trendline support, daily consolidation with buy-side liquidity above, 4-hour rotation between zones, 2-hour trendline respect with liquidity being mapped quietly. Ethereum, daily structure respected, buy-side liquidity above, weekly structure forming with support below. And on the macro side, Ethereum infrastructure continues to expand. Wall Street preparing blockchain integration, and legacy banking leaders reversing their skepticism. What a surprise! This isn't random price action. This is compression at high time frame support while infrastructure quietly builds. Pay attention, people. Pay attention because it's happening in front of your eyes. If you want to trade these levels yourself, I left my exchange links in the description. BTCC and WEX. Use them only if they help. They support the channel and give you access to the same tools. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your 2 cents. Do it. Do it now. Markets don't move when everyone is piling in. They move when an unexpected catalyst appears from nowhere. Momentum is quietly improving, and the groundwork is being laid as we speak. Right now, price is compressing, liquidity is clearly defined, and institutions are quietly capitalizing behind the scenes. Stay patient, respect the levels, and I'll see you in the next one.